Hello students, how are you? Well, this video is to make up for the lesson we missed today because of the power cut. And well, the objective is to see some grammar, okay? So you have to open your books on page 69 in your student's book, of course. Do you remember that in our previous lessons we saw modals to give advice? Well, today we are going to learn about modals to express obligation. So first we will see a video in which you will see all these modals in context, okay? That is a situation and the people use these modals. And then we will do the activities on this page. Are you ready?
Grammar on the move. Obligation.
Are you okay, Anna? You don't sound very well.
I think I've caught a cold.
Oh dear, poor you. Maybe you should go home and rest.
I can't go home now. I have to finish writing this report.
Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't come to work tomorrow, and you ought to go to the doctor.
Thank you, Jane. I don't need to go to the doctor for a cold. I'll just buy some medicine from the pharmacy.
The two screenshots you can see above, yes, show two different examples in which the modals of obligation are used. For example, in the first one, yes, the girl says, I have to finish writing this report. So the woman thinks that this is an obligation. It's a rule, something that her boss told her to do. It's very important. Whereas in the other, she says, I don't need to go to the doctor. There is no obligation. She feels there is no obligation for this. So in the first one, she uses I have to. And in the other, she uses I don't need to. She could have used I don't have to. Yes, to show there is no obligation.
Good afternoon. How can I help you?
I need some medicine for a cold.
Here you are. You mustn't take more than 3 tablets a day, and you can't take them if you're on any other medication. If your cold isn't better after a week, you must go and see a doctor.
Okay, thank you.
From this extract, we can take 3 examples. In the first 2, the ones that are above, the chemist is giving the woman some instructions. So, to express the prohibitions, things that she can't do, he uses the modals mustn't and can't. And in the other, the chemist is giving the woman a very strong recommendation. And he says, if your cold isn't better after a week, you must go and see a doctor. This isn't a rule. Yes, that is coming from a law. That's why he doesn't use you have to. He says you must go because it's an internal obligation.
Hi, Anna. Are you feeling better?
Yes, I am, thanks. How are you?
Not great. I think I've caught your cold.
Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Why don't you take the rest of the day off?
I can't. My boss says that I have to finish preparing this presentation.
Well, I can do that for you.
Really? Thank you so much. You don't have to write much, just the last 3 slides.
Leave it with me. You don't need to worry about anything.
In the last part of the video, we can see that Anna, who was ill, could get over it, while her workmate is now ill. So Anna offers her to go home. Yes, and the woman says, I have to finish this presentation. So she uses the modal have to express an obligation, something that is coming from outside. Yes, and then Anna offers herself to do it, and her workmate accepts the offer, and she says, you don't have to write much, so it's not necessary to do it. Yes, and then Anna says, you don't need to worry about anything, it's not necessary. Again, she uses you don't need to, while her workmate uses you don't have to. Yes, those modals are used to express no necessity. As we said before, all these modals we have seen are used to express obligation and prohibition. Now you will see a summary, yes, where all these modals are explained again, and then you will do the activities on page 69. All right?
Look at these sentences. If your cold isn't better after a week, you must go and see a doctor. My boss says that I have to finish preparing this presentation. We use must and have to express obligation. We often use must to talk about rules or laws which we agree with or believe in. We often use have to talk about rules or laws which were made by someone else or which we may not agree with. Now look at these sentences. You don't have to write much. You don't need to worry about anything. We use don't have to or don't need to, but not mustn't, when it is not necessary to do something. Now look at these sentences. You mustn't take more than 3 tablets a day. You can't take them if you're on any other medication. We use mustn't to say that something is not allowed. We can also use can't instead of mustn't. Grammar on the move.